Hey, just wanted to make a quick video to show you the EIMA dashboard and how it works. So I'm going to go through this very fast. If you want to see a longer form video of this, I do have a recording of a Google Meet with teachers showing them how this works. So first of all, on the left-hand side, you're going to see information about your school, your teacher code, the grade, the students that wrote, and then how many students are missing the assessment. As a quick note, if these two numbers adding up don't equal the total of students that you see after the slash, then that means that there's something wrong with the recorded data. So please contact me in that case so I can make sure to fix it so we don't have duplicates of a student or students that don't have an email address that's correct, that sort of thing. This is the students missing. Feel free to have these students still write the assessment if you want them to so that you have the data in here to use later on. Moving to the right, these are the graphs based on individual students and the classroom and district scores. So in this drop-down menu, you can select the student that you want to take a closer look at. So for example, if we want to take a look at Ginny Weasley, we can click on that and see how she's doing in the different parts of math. So on this particular assessment, we had 6 different outcomes, and you can see that she actually did pretty well on the first, second, third, and fourth outcome, but on the 5th and the 6th outcome, she struggled. So the 5th and the 6th outcome, if we want to figure out what that is, we can either put our mouse over here where it says 2N 2.1, which is students investigate addition and subtraction within 100, or 2N 2.2, addition and subtraction can represent the sum or difference of countable quantities or measurable lengths. Or you can also look at the outcomes here. So you see that little black triangle in the top right. That shows you that there is something that shows when you go over it with your mouse. Also on this graph, we have the class bar and the district bar. So you can see how your class did and the district in comparison to the student, which will help you realize if this was kind of something that a lot of people struggled with, or if it's something unique to the student. So you can tell that in this particular graph, that's really useful in us being able to tell that 2N 2.1 and 2N 2.2, even though they were a struggle for the district and the class, it was particularly difficult for Ginny for those 2 outcomes. This next graph is not for individual students, but just class versus district so that you can identify where your class is doing very well compared to the district baseline and where they might need to put in some more work. So for this particular class, they're actually doing quite well compared to the district in 2N 2.2, but there is a bit of a struggle for the class in 2N 1.1 and 2N 1.5. So this at a glance can let you see what you might want to work on for whole class instruction in this case. Okay, but 2N 1.3, 2N 2.2 are relative strengths for the class, while 2N 1.1 and 2N 1.5 are possible weaknesses. Going over to the individual student data, what we're seeing here is highlighting based on where the student is kind of in relation to both the class and the district. So it is comparing it to kind of a weighted average that has to do with both the class and the district average scores. And then from there, figuring out what percentile they're in from that kind of median. I'm using the wrong mathological terms. I just said mathological. I'm using the wrong terms, but you get the idea. Anyways, green is good. Green means that the student is doing quite well. Yellow is in the middle. Well, red are students that are kind of on your watch or intervention list. So Percy Weasley got a 20.83%, so is struggling on this assessment. You can see the raw score over here. This is the overall average, and then here are the averages per outcome. You can also see that for the class and for the district. So this is the same data that is pulling into these graphs here and here. Okay, so that gives you a little bit of an idea of this part of the dashboard. There's also a group generator in this dashboard, which allows you to come up with intervention groups on the fly, or possibly if you're running centers and want to see where students can go or should go. So let's say that you are running a center on 2N 1.1, 2N 2.1, and 2N 2.2. And you want a max of 6 students in each group. What this will do is when you click Generate Groups, it's going to figure out where students should go, where there would be most benefit from those different groups. So it puts the 6 lowest students for 2N 1.1 in this list, then of the students left over, so they won't appear twice, Okay, it puts the 6 lowest students here and 6 lowest students here. You can play around with this. So for example, if I generate this, and I'll see if it works out the way I want to here, we can tell that Patil Padma is 100% here, so we don't really want her in 2N 1.3. And in fact, maybe I even want to kind of stop this student from being in here as well, the 66.7. So what I can do is just lower then that group to 3. And maybe I want to raise this group or this group a bit to 7 and 7. Okay, and then I can generate again in order to get better groupings for those students. So that looks a lot better. If you want to copy and paste into this table, you can certainly do that. You can't screw it up. It'd be really tough for you to be able to actually screw up parts of this table. So feel free to then copy and paste stuff around. You could even take out these percentages, okay, to then show students that part of the table. You can play around with this. The cells that matter are protected. The cells that you can delete, change, whatever, it's fine to do so, and it's not going to hurt anything. And if you do manage to break the dashboard, I can make another copy for you in about 30 seconds, so it's not a big deal at all. So that is the EIMA dashboard. If you have any questions, please contact me. I am here to help.